Trey and Vince and Adam will have my head, and they won't have me back for 2021.
Oh man, it's also Asia versus North America on both matches. This is going to be exciting.
Uh-oh.
Nerdzzz is a skateboarder too. That's so cool.
All right, we're going to start the countdowns here. And Chris, we're going to try to do this again, a simul countdown. Right. You ready?
I hope, yeah.
All right. And 3, 2, 1. Tetris. We're going to get this right one of these days. Here's the strategy next time, Chris. All right, you just count down, right? And don't even listen to me at all. You just do your countdown, and then I will go.
An idea.
That's what I think we have to do, because what's happening is you're hearing, you know, like when you put headphones on and then you try to sing and you like are out of sync with your own voice and whatever.
I think it might be internet lag, because when I hear the rebroadcast, it's totally different than what I think.
Yeah. So you just plow straight ahead, and I will come in and accompany you, I think is what we have to do. We're going to get this right.
Yeah. Reed having to work through some holes in his stack. Koryan stacking very efficiently, but we're still neck and neck down there. Koryan with a Tetris, Reed taking a triple. Meanwhile, up on top, Terry with a super clean stack, banging down a Tetris. Nerdzzz having to deal with a bit of... We'll have to do like a delayed tuck there, and he gets it. Now he's back to being clean. Along with a bit of a drought there, but we're neck and neck up there too. Early going. Pretty close games all around. Yeah, Nerdzzz having to dig pretty early on, allowing Terry to take a 1 Tetris lead. 80,000 to Nerdzzz 63,000. Reed banging down a column 7 Tetris.
So yeah, a lot of themes here. So, you know, Asia on the left, the U.S. on the right. We've got tappers on the left, DAS on the right, and then on the left, kind of frequent participants in the online scene versus more in-person live players on the right side. So.
Yeah, no, this is a really good one for, I guess, the rivalry clubs that are starting to form in our community. You know, when you have like younger players with a different play style versus the veterans. We're seeing a lot more discussion of that now. Yeah,
no doubt. And in fact, you know, there are various online communities set up, you know, for people to play against one another, including one of them actually called Classic Tetris Gangs, where you are supposed to get in a gang and play with your gang against other players. If you want to find out information about that, you can go into the Classic Tetris Monthly Discord. We've got links to basically all the Tetris communities that are out there. And those of you who are watching and want to get involved in this, you know, you do not have to be on the level of these players in order to play competitive matches. It's something that's really open for everybody. So if you go on to, and not to promote my Discord, but that's kind of where all the action happens. We have a Discord server, and if you scroll down on the About page on CTWC Classic Tetris 1, you can find a link to it there. It's the only time I'll do that.
No, you should, because we wouldn't have what we've got now without the building of that community. Like the infrastructure and the practices that were put into place by what you were doing with CTM allowed what we're doing now to be possible, and we're all thankful. Oh man, Nerdzzz with the early top out.
Oh no,
and he's got seized, and yeah, it just misdrop, and it's just stacked out of control, and Terry's good for his first game there.
All right, so Terry is good now. As soon as we get it ready, we'll start that one. Koryan on the bottom, 321. Reed at 313, so pretty darn close, or neck and neck.
Yeah, it's really competitive on the bottom there. For only about halfway to transition. Koryan stacking up a bit high, has just do a couple of burns to take care of that. And Reed's in the lead, up by a Tetris now. Koryan firing back, and we're even. 358,000 for Koryan to 361 for Reed.
All right, just waiting on a ready from Terry. There you go. I think he knows.
Reed stacked up way high, having to dig back down. Koryan has a chance to catch up. He's up by 15,000 now as Koryan. Yeah, Reed shaking his head. That's a tough situation to get over out. He has to get the right piece over to the left, and it's not going to happen.
Yeah, no.
So Koryan's going to take this first game.
All right, Koryan with the heart.
Yeah, both first games there ending early with early top outs.
You know, I guess I don't want to give too much away, but there were a lot of long games last week on Classic Tetris when.
Yeah, you rarely saw any early top outs last week, so maybe these players are tuning in, and there's maybe a factor for the newbies in the first rounds of the bracket.
I just need readies from Koryan and Reed on the Max Out Club setup.
Terry having to deal with high stack early on.
Yeah,
Big spire in the middle.
A few lines ago, he put himself in a really precarious situation where pretty much he was all in on a long bar on the left side, and he got it. You know, so that's the only reason he's really here. And Nerdzzz really with a burn here too, so both players kind of putting themselves in tough situations early on.
Yeah. This is not what we've seen today up until now. Early digs. High dangerous setups. Terry can get out of this though. He's getting the right pieces. Some L and J dependencies. Luckily they gave it to him.
Yeah, those are some he's getting really nice pieces here. Now, of course, you got to be able to survive till you get those pieces. So all credit to Terry, but you know, once you finally wait around and get them, great feeling.
There's that nod.
But not out of the woods yet. Still needs a long word. Gets it, and bang, Tetris for Terry.
Tetris for Terry. Out of danger, but down about 2 Tetrises now. Looking to burn a dirty triple or Tetris there. He's gonna get Tetris ready just for a second there. Opting not to get Tetris ready there. He could have turned that into a Tetris, but opts for the safer triple instead. Split double, and he's drilling back down. Getting clean again, hopefully soon.
$185 for Nerdzzz, $108 for Terry, and on the bottom, $94,000 for Koryan, $76,000 for Reed.
Yeah, Nerdzzz built a lead of about 50,000 points now. Terry finally drilling back to the bottom. Still covering up that hole in the bottom. Finally, he has a nice clean field, and he's looking to score again.
Yeah, Terry with really the heart attack stacking. Ooh. Oh, Nerdzzz with that hang on the top.
Yeah, he's going to take a triple there to keep things safe. And another triple.
Now, that's going to take some work for Nerdzzz to work out of. And Terry is clean and built up really for 2 Tetrises. So if Terry can get these long bars here, this would really cut into Nerdzz's lead.
Yeah, Terry playing aggressively when he had to there, and that's going to allow him to catch up just a bit. Nerdzzz now having to do the dig. Meanwhile, on the bottom, Koryan's doing a little bit of digging himself. The scores are neck and neck, but Reed with a nice, clean play field. And Koryan finally back to being clean again. A couple of holes here. Nerdzzz looking like type B down there.
Yeah, and Terry's actually ahead now.
Mm-hmm.
Very slightly, basically neck and neck, and just with the game, you know, with the board state. And Terry with an advantage right now.
Right.
And boom, Tetris for Terry.
But yeah, Terry surviving that dig state and now able to capitalize. Nerdzzz almost back down though. And we're headed towards the line 100. There's still time before transition to score. Meanwhile, on the bottom, halfway to transition, it's going back and forth. Reed now up just by 1 Tetris.
Nerdzzz on top with the 2 Tetrises in a row in the third column for Nerdzzz. And that's going to put him right back into neck and neck territory with Terry. Mm-hmm. Really building up high. Huge long channel in column 3 for Nerdzzz, and just those back-to-back long bars.
And Terry doing a bit of a dig again. This time getting out of it fairly quickly.
Nerdzzz set up for a dirty third column Tetris and gets it. 321 for Nerdzzz, 301 for Terry. And on the bottom, 291 Koryan, 309 for Reed.
Yeah, Nerdzzz showing some really good versatility and stacking there. Just being able to make a Tetris wherever. Reed now with the 2 Tetris lead down there. And Koryan having to do a lot of singles and maintenance to keep his stack clean.
Yeah, Terry stack post-transition here, not looking very agreeable. Certainly dealable with, but, you know, the run of the wrong pieces here could... And he's actually line dependent. Oh, look at that. He gets a long bar down there. That's going to help a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Terry digging very skillfully out of that. And finally clean again. Tetris ready. Boom, Tetris for Terry. And Nerdzzz with a nice stack. Boom, Tetris for Nerdzzz. Up by a Tetris and a half now. 55,000 points ahead. 449,000 to Terry's 393.
We're approaching transition down the bottom here. Koryan setting up for the dirty left well Tetris. 1 row off the bottom. So close to transition. And he gets it.
And Koryan taking a triple, burning it down. See if he gets safe for transition. It's going to happen in the next Tetris or next couple of line clears.
Yeah, looks like he's just going to burn all this away and not get too crazy here, but looking for the right piece. And there it is, the Z down the left side.
And now both players having hit transition. Reed has a lead of about a Tetris and a half. Reed down level 20, so ahead by lines.
Yeah, it was kind of an uneventful transition for Koryan, but after all that was exactly what he was looking for.
Yeah, I really deeply remember what happened to Koryan in the finals last year. Came down to kind of an unsafe transition situation, so it's good to see that he's adjusted for that and played safe here.
Oh, and Reed's going to top out at 508. Now he's got a lead here of 18,000. 1 Tetris would do it from Koryan. Koryan needs to get to 509. And Koryan building up high in the center, and now has to do some burns. This is not looking really good for Koryan right now.
Whew. He has to get something over to the left. He just needs 10,000 points more.
I don't think he's going to be able to do it. He's going to top out, and Reed is going to outlast Koryan here. Oh, and Leslie tops out as well, and Terry was ahead.
We're seeing some uncharacteristic top outs here in both these matches.
I mean, it seems like they got somewhere to be or something. I don't know what's happening, but so Reed gets a heart and Terry gets a heart.
Yeah. The Koryan actually had a safe transition there, but just kind of let things spiral out of control. And I'm not even sure if it was aggression or trying to build a dirty well in a bad place there. But yeah, all he had to do was kind of just keep it low and survive.
All right, so we'll do a simul start here. Terry up 2 games to none over Nerdzzz. Now these are all winners bracket matches, so the losers of these matches will go downstairs into the losers bracket, and we'll continue on in this competition. Koryan, I think, has now 2 Sonic towels. Have you noticed this? He's famous for having that Sonic towel, Sonic the Hedgehog towel, and now he's got I think another one.
You know, when you're a fan, you get what you can get, and if you find another good towel, then stock up.
I mean, there's this whole thing, like back in the days, like rock stars, women would throw their hotel keys at rock stars. I wonder if people are throwing Sonic towels to Koryan here.
Yeah, maybe looking to get a Sega sponsorship. Who knows? They've got their versions of Tetris too, so with Puyo Puyo Tetris 2 and all that. We used to think they were a sponsor for us at one time.
Players getting their initial setups here, building for their first Tetrises here. Koryan 71,000, Reed 71,000 here in the early goings, and up top, separated by less than 1,000 points as well.
Reed banging down another Tetris. Koryan starting to build up a little high and gets the log bar, makes another Tetris of his own. Pretty evenly matched, though.
Yeah, this does seem very close all around. Both of these matches here.
And it's odd that, like, the uncharacteristic early top-outs all happened kind of in the same place in the bracket, pretty much.
Yeah, I think one of the benefits of this structure here is, players can have sort of an uncharacteristically bad game, but aren't automatically, eliminated from the tournament here. So you're getting, very talented players getting a second chance and saying, okay, well, now I've seen sort of where my head's at today, what I'm doing, like what I'm capable of, and now I can adjust and not having it be fatal for their tournament. We saw that, we saw some of that last week. I'm sure we'll see it this week as well.
Yeah, I definitely like being able to see more matchups, because in the past it's just like, okay, well, you're matched up against this player and that's the only match you'll get to see them play. But now you get to see, 2 or 3 different matchups, and that's good, given our international field, being able to see people from different countries play each other and different parts on the bracket and with different seedings.
And plus, it's just more Tetris, Chris. Some might say more Tetris than you can handle. All right, 261 for Nerdzzz up top, 207 for Terry, and down the bottom, 224 for Koryan, 257 for Reed. Basically about halfway to transition. If you take their current scores and multiply them by 2, you'll get an estimate of what their transition score might be if they kept this pace up.
Game on the bottom, halfway to transition. Both boards super clean, neck and neck. And Koryan jumping into the lead just a bit. One Tetris up, 320,000 points to Reed's 288. Terry stacking up high, ready for Tetris, but covers up as well. Getting a little flustered at the timing there, but bangs down the Tetris nonetheless. And another Tetris. Nerdzzz still up by 50,000, now 70,000, 370,000 points to Terry's 296. Getting to about the 100 line mark.
Koryan was getting in a little bit of trouble up top. He was kind of high there and having to fling pieces over to the left and build a few gaps, but looks like he's going to be able to survive this and burn mostly back down to the bottom. Will be interesting to see if he burns this all away and tries to release that gap on the bottom or just play on top. Koryan is somebody who you might see actually burn that down. Like, he does like to play from a good play field, and you often see him take a lot of burns to get his field back into a good state. And it looks like he's kind of doing that.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good skill to have. A lot of times you can just outlast your opponent, too, if you keep it alive long enough.
Right, having to put some gaps over on the left is Koryan. It's going to slow him down a bit. Now, Reed has been able to take a lead here of 51,000 points, and Koryan with some more burning to do. Finally, it looks like he's clean with his well transferred over to the right.
Yeah, Koryan with the affirmative nod.
He likes it. He's pleased. Probably doesn't like burning all the lines, but he's not that far behind. He's less than a Tetris behind now after that Tetris. Reed's going to transition a little awkwardly.
Yeah, he covered up as well on the right. He's going to have to burn some... Oh, yeah, the right pieces unlocks it right away.
Oh, and Nerdzzz is going to top
Nerdzzz
out.
tops out.
All right, so Nerdzzz tops out 457. Terry needs to get to 458. And a little awkward transition for Terry as well. So Terry needs to get to 458. We'll see what he can do here.
That's what he needs to open up the well. He just waiting for the long bar, but covered up the well.
Oh, Terry. That left side, so tough. The square and that L were the best pieces for him, and he got one. The square anyway. On the left side. Oh, that right side for Terry is going to be closed off, and he's going to top out, and Nerdzzz is going to survive here.
Yeah.
And Nerdzzz is still here. Let's go ahead and give Nerdzzz...
Terry with a reaction cam. But a great smile. I think he's enjoying the match.
All right, once we get ready, we'll start them underway. Down the bottom, 563, now 593 for Koryan, 567 for Reed, so less than a Tetris separates these two guys.
Yeah, really close match down there. Both playfields looking good. Koryan slightly behind on lines. About 10. He's got a little bit more time. As ahead by a Tetris and a half now.
Oh, what happened to Terry?
Huh.
So, he started on level 8. I think he's just supposed to... You should just start on level 18. Just go ahead and start real quick. I think. I don't know. Well, actually, get the judges here. Judges need to solve this, not me.
Yeah, sometimes, like, the button doesn't register when you do the level select, and it'll start you 10 levels lower than you intend.
So this might... We'll just have Nerdzzz go until judges make a call on this. It's above my pay grade, Chris.
Meanwhile, Koryan with a precarious high stack now. He's going to have to do some digging. He's still ahead by a Tetris now.
All right, so we can clear this away. It's so tough. All right, so up top there, Nerdzzz and Terry are supposed to restart. So go ahead and restart. Nerdzzz, you can top out. And we're going to restart. And we're all going to, we're all going to look at Terry and laugh here. See what you've done. Down the bottom, 783 Koryan, 739 for Reed, level 27. Reed back by a Tetris and a half. Koryan with a lines advantage here. Tetris for Reed. Crucial Tetris for Reed here, but look at the bottom of his stack. Oh, and a mischief from Reed. That could seal it for Reed, honestly, and it's just kind of a cascading into a series of errors.
Yeah, Koryan had a bit of problem there too, but he was able to get the Tetris.
And Koryan is good.
Mm-hmm.
So Koryan's going to outlast Reed. Just need it ready from Nerdzzz and Terry. And we've got it, so let's just, we'll start everybody all at once, I guess. Or I guess it doesn't matter. I mean, we're just starting people, so we'll just let Koryan and Reed wipe their hands, do the fingers, all that.
That's right, Alexi, do your fingers. That legendary quote.
Yeah, so we'll get him started up top. Why wait, Get him started.
Some hydration. I wonder what beverage of choice that is of Koryan's.
Well, it's really early for Koryan. On the left side, Hong Kong and Japan, very early in the morning. So, props to these guys for getting up this early. I'm sure very happy to be part of the second group here today. And a few extra hours of sleep. All right, they're ready over there, so let's start them.
Yeah, we're still in a match point on both of these matches here. Koryan up by 1 and Terry up by 1. The Nerdzzz hits the first Tetris, but Terry fires back immediately after. Actually, looks like Terry had a couple of Tetrises.
Oh, that's right. Nerdzzz represents Hong Kong, but he might not be in Hong Kong at this moment.
Oh,
I think he might be I think he's in college in Texas, actually. Now that I think about it. It's a lot to keep track of, Chris.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, there's just, well, I mean, that's kind of a testament, though, to just how this has grown. I think, maybe even a few years ago, it was sort of possible to know really all the players who were taking part. What is it, 16, 32 players? And now, I mean, we have hundreds of people playing online matches, every single month, all around the online scene here on Twitch.
Right. And along with that online factor, you get online facts. So I'm looking at the online facts here.
Yes.
And they actually gave us the time zones that they're supposed to be in. So it says Hong Kong at 12:39 a.m., but we might need to make a new online facts entry for where they are right now.
Yeah, let's get Rory on that. Somebody take Rory to task for these dubious online facts.
But a big shout out to Rory for getting these online facts sheets together. And,
right. And Pumpy Heart, and there's a whole group of people on the stats team here this year. All right, down the bottom, we got Koryan at 103. Reed's going to Tetris 146. And Nerdzzz up top 192. Terry 215.
Yeah, Nerdzzz having to do some burns. Terry up by score slightly, but Nerdzzz firing a Tetris. Now we're neck and neck. And Reed looking for some clears there to open up the board again. Still similar scores down there too. And wow, look at our streams got over 20k viewers. Thanks for tuning in.
Well, really, why wouldn't they tune in? I mean, what else are you going to watch here on a Saturday? I mean, bowling. I mean, come on. This is the most exciting. To me, this is the most exciting sport that there is. I got to be honest. Just every 5 to 10 minutes, there's just like a heart-stopping moment. It's actually kind of dangerous. I'm getting kind of old, Chris.
Well, definitely we haven't seen anything yet, because along with the new mode in Tetris Effect Connected, people being able to play this format, and then people just kind of randomly seeing it, like on TV, like you'll have people seeing ESPN broadcasts of the CTWC, and they'll say, like, well, what's that? And then now they'll have a way to connect the two, right? They can watch the games on TV and pick up the Xbox, PS4, PC versions of the game and be involved just like that now. And we didn't have that before. So I think that as more accessibility happens, we're going to see even more interest, and 20K is just going to be a milestone in that growth.
Yeah, no doubt. Now up top here, 389 for Nerdzzz, 370 for Terry, so pretty darn close. Koryan with some fighting to do here. He's got, some, garbage on top of his bottom situation, but that should clear down pretty quick once he can sort of uncover it.
Yeah.
Set up for a triple here, which he's going to take happily.
But yeah, Reed does take advantage of that, and now has a 1 Tetris lead. And ready to score again.
279 Koryan, 325 Reed. Reed now 2 Tetris is up here. Koryan's setting up, trying to get one of these back, but Reed keeps piling on. Finally, long bar for Koryan. Did I say Koryan? I don't know why I say that. I gotta turn up my monitor here so I can hear myself. All right. Yeah, Koryan building up a little bit higher than you see him. A lot of times hyper tappers have the ability to, build up high like this, but Koryan will, play safe and will take his burns and, does try to keep, his stack health high,
I do notice both Reed and Koryan are playing rather conservatively, taking the burns, playing safe. We're not really at max out pace or anything like the games we saw earlier today, but they're in line with each other, which is what you want. Because then you can take advantage of the situation and have chase downs that aren't hard.
Yeah, no doubt. Now Terry's going to transition at 560, so that's a big transition pace for Terry right there in a tournament for sure. Any player would take that. And Nerdzzz is going to transition up high, about 502, so looking for something to knock this down pretty quick.
Gets the right piece for that. And takes the triple to keep it safe. And perfect position for a Tetris. Boom, Tetris for Nerdzzz.
538 Nerdzzz, 587 Terry. Terry Tetris is 612. Meanwhile, they've transitioned the bottom game here. 432 Koryan. Reed, 425. He's not going to get out of that. Reed is going to top out, and Koryan's going to take this.
Yeah, Reed not in the best position for that transition, and it just snowballed really fast. But yeah, since we're in the winner's bracket, that will just send Reed to second chance and see how...
Let's get Terry in frame here. My goodness. There we go.
Nerdzzz with a few holes in his stack, allowing Terry to get a bit of a lead now, up by 2 Tetrises. And now Nerdzzz with a clean board, having dug just a little bit, catches up with that Tetris just a bit. Terry ahead now by 1 at 678,000 points to Nerdzzz 649.
Both relatively safe stacks now. Now, those of you who are watching, the players, Koryan will continue in the winner's bracket. Reed is not out. Reed will be down in the loser's bracket. And we'll play the loser of this match, and the 2 winners of these matches will play against each other coming up like right after this. So This is a double elimination tournament. You have to lose twice to be eliminated.
Ooh, Nerdzzz just barely getting those boxes over. And you're going to keep it clean. Terry in a good lead now. 2 Tetrises ahead. Now only 1, as Nerdzzz fired one back there.
That's right.
Nerdzzz line dependency gets 1, and boom, Tetris for Nerdzzz. Neck and neck.
That's
Terry
right.
banging out Tetris.
Yeah, Nerdzzz 736 and Terry 772 here on level 26. Separated by just a line or 2 at any given time.
Yeah, it's become a really close match here. Going to get down to the wire. Terry's board not in the best shape anymore.
Oh, Nerdzzz was double line dependent here. He's going to have to take the burns. That could really cost Nerdzzz right here.
We got the L's and J's he needed for that. That left side. Oh, he manages to get the long bar, so he tears down the left side, which is what he really needed. Wow, he got clear.
So Terry's going to need to set up, and he knows it. He knows he's going to have to set up for a Tetris. He needs it. He's back by less than a Tetris. Nerdzzz is not set up for one. Where is the long bar for Terry? Has to cover the well. He reopens it. Where's the long bar for Terry? He's going to get it in. Boom, Tetris for Terry. See if he can set up for another one. He's got a lead of half a Tetris. Nerdzzz is going to have to do something on kill screen.
And Terry just stops playing, and Nerdzzz gets it by just a hair.
Oh, and Nerdzzz is about to collapse. And Nerdzzz is forced a decider. Are you serious, man?
I'm telling you, man, when they're about to hit level 29, you got to set up those center wells just in case they come.
So Terry happy. You know, Terry he just wants to be, he's just happy to be here.
Yeah. That was a good match.
Wow.
Down to the wire.
All right, so Nerdzzz is going to get the heart, and we have a decider, my friends. That's right. Terry and Nerdzzz close to the camera. We you know, behind the scenes, we can see their hands. Don't worry, guys. If Terry's going to be this close, we can't have Nerdzzz be this tiny figure, right? You can't give Terry the psychological advantage of being this big, imposing figure on the right, and Terry, this, you know, Nerdzzz being all tiny. So you got to make him the same scale here.
Right. Ooh.
All right, we got 2 ready players, Chris. Why don't we do our countdown here for this decider? How about it? All right,
I'll just count down, and you do your thing, and hopefully it'll all work out.
Yeah, you don't even listen to me, right?
All right.
3, 2, 1. Tetris. That was really good. That was like A- effort for us, I think. Right, that was our best one.
Yeah, I'll have to check it out on the recast. But I think it went okay.
Yeah, we'll have to capture that one so we don't have to do it again. We can just like play that one over and over again. That was the take, guys.
Chat seems to like it, so as long as they're happy, I'm satisfied.
All right, we're in a decider here now. Neither player will be eliminated from the tournament, but the winner will continue on in the winner's bracket. The loser will go down and play against Reed, which I don't think anybody wants to do because Reed really put on a show here for us, and not going to be an easy victory for anybody against Reed, that's for sure.
Not much difference early on here. Nerdzzz double line dependent, gets one. He just needs a couple things to get him Tetris ready, and there it is. Boom, Tetris for Terry. Up by a Tetris and a half. Nerdzzz firing back. And Terry knocking down a Tetris, maintaining that lead.
And there's one for Nerdzzz, so 101 for him, 120 for Terry.
Boom, Tetris for Nerdzzz, neck and neck. Terry definitely being one of the more animated competitors here.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. And both players really shaking their head here at some of these moments, just with the stacks they're having to leave themselves. Nerdzzz is going to get a nice long bar here to kind of sort this out a bit. But this should all burn away relatively easily. Just get... There we go. Let's see if Terry's going to turn this into a center well. How could you not?
Yeah, that's a nice juicy one there. Getting hungry for it. Oh, and he covered the well just before the long bar came.
All right. All right, so Terry's going to take the double burn on top of the well and get the center well Tetris. So he's going to shift his well over to the right, hopefully. 186 Terry, 179 for Nerdzzz. Terry actually ahead in lines. Just from, I think, playing up a little bit higher. Those pieces take less time to fall, so you get more of them. A couple of tucks here from Nerdzzz, trying to get set up for his next Tetrises.
And Terry evening it up. We are neck and neck. Nerdzzz having to do some burns, but fires back with the Tetris. Halfway to transition.
That's right. There's a transition that happens at 130 lines. The speed will increase by 50%, which is pretty darn fast. And very few people in the world are able to play that competently. And most of the people that can are in this competition.
Mm-hmm. And no matter what level of competitive skill you're at, the speed change going to 19, a lot of times it can be a determining factor in the outcome of the match. Sometimes some players get more aggressive and play better and pull away at that point. And if you're not set up and aren't set up low enough, then it could lead to an early top out, or that's the point. A top out is most likely as a player has to respond to that speed change.
So Terry at 312, Nerdzzz at 329. They're pretty much tied in lines now.
Score slowing down a bit for Terry, having to do some burns. He's almost back down to the bottom.
All right, Nerdzzz is finally set up here. Finally gets the long bar. Boom, Tetris for Nerdzzz.
And both players have clean play fields. So we cross the 100 line threshold. Oh, Nerdzzz having to do a little bit of digging now. Terry looking really clean. All right, both players clean. Nerdzzz with just a slight score advantage now. 384,000 points to Terry's 369,000. Less than a Tetris difference. Nerdzzz banging down a Tetris, now up by one Tetris, now by two. Terry's built up for one, he just needs to Get the right pieces. There's one. The Nerdzzz firing back immediately. You're now a couple of Tetrises away from the level 19 transition. Both players set up for Tetris. Terry will hit level 19 going into that. And Nerdzzz will take a single and then a Tetris, and still has one line to go. And is now all on level 19. Opting to take the single up high, having to be prepared to shift whatever the next piece is immediately to account for speed difference. And takes a triple and a double, giving up a bit of score for some safety there, but bangs down a Tetris right after, and is able to jump into the lead. 535,000 points to Terry's 460, up by now 100,000 points. Terry finally firing back with the Tetris. His board's in good shape, though. And Nerdzzz also looking good, filling in those gaps. Having to take a double there. Terry in scoring position. Boom, Tetris for Terry. Still about a 100,000 point deficit.
Yeah, huge lead for Nerdzzz here. There's still, it's still early. We've got about 70 lines until transition. We call it transition now. It used to be kill screen, and now in a lot of ways for some players, it's kind of just another transition, but
you call it thrill screen.
The thrill screen, yeah. Well, you gotta call it something. Now players are playing on it.
Yeah, no kidding. And it is exciting to watch.
All right, so Terry 609, Nerdzzz 634. So Terry's really cut into this lead while Nerdzzz is burning. Just like that, just real quick, Chris, just while we were having our banter. Like, that's how fast things can turn. But Terry's going to top out. I think a misshift here. Yeah, it was an early dash shift, and then it just kind of lost dash. So Nerdzzz is good. Nerdzzz can go ahead and top out, and he'll be continuing on.
And that's just how precarious, like, you play hanging by a thread, and it just takes one misdrop, and I guess, Terry just felt like it wasn't worth continuing after. I remember that in that broadcast. I was like, I don't know, it was last year, was it?
Yeah.
Can we get some words from Koryan? He's just like, do it. And it's just like, the crowd went nuts. It's like it got the message across just with so much simplicity and so much, so easy to relate to. Yeah,
he's known for that in his online matches. Do it, just do it. Don't let your dreams be dreams. That whole meme from Shia LaBeouf. And we are underway, Chris.
Yep.
Winner's bracket on top, loser's bracket on the bottom. The bottom is an elimination game. The loser will be eliminated from this tournament. And on the top match, the winner will continue in the winner's bracket. The loser will go back down to the loser's bracket and continue on there.
And just a very even pace in the game at top. No score differential, no pushing down, just both players having made one Tetris. Now 2. 3 for Koryan. Nerdzzz firing right back, just neck and neck and neck and neck when there's no point difference. Finally, just a slight difference in their scores. Reed up to an early lead on the bottom, but Terry's just waiting for Longbar to fill in that well. Stacking up high on the left. Big Drought. Ooh, having to drop a Spire in the middle, but he's good for 2 Tetrises there. Oh, Terry missing the spin. Now he has to clean up a bit. And Reed's gonna knock down another Tetris now with a 40,000 point lead. Up top are still neck and neck. I think Nerdzzz might have been going for a spin there, but also missed it.
Yeah, Nerdzzz just going to have to take a couple of burns here to clear this down. Not sure if he's got a plan here to maybe build this up into something. Maybe he's going to build a column. No, he's going to burn this down.
Yeah, I think he's just recovering from a...
Yeah. I think he had designs on maybe, building something there, but kind of thought better of it.
Yeah. I mean, there was a column 9 well building, and then he messed up the spin, and that's what happened afterwards.
Oh, gotcha. Thank God we have Chris Tang here to actually look at the games, right?
Terry having to build on top of that well. He's going to hope to fill in that left side. Yeah, it's always tough when you have 2 wells to fill in on the left and the right, and you need, like, complicated mix of pieces to solve it. He takes a triple there. Still needs a long bar, but he's going to skim it off the top instead. Finally opening up the well. He doesn't take the long bar to fill it in, though. He's really waiting for that J to fill in that gap perfectly, and it paid off. He's Tetris ready. Boom, Tetris for Terry. We are neck and neck. But Terry being really handling that pressure so well. And those piece dependencies working out.
All right, 317 up top for Koryan, 275 for Nerdzzz. Down the bottom, 220 Terry, 225 for Reed.
Still neck and neck on the bottom. Terry having to do a little bit of digging, but now he's Tetris ready. Boom, Tetris for Terry. Jumping into the lead finally with 1 Tetris. Now at 250,000 points to Reed's 232. Reed's going to be doing some digging before he's Tetris ready again. He's going to just hit a triple there. He opens up with a triple. And his board is looking good again. Nerdzzz playing up high. You need a couple of pieces to get back open for business. Oh, and it gave him 2 long bars in a row. Able to score. Koryan now up by a Tetris and a half. 390,000 points to Nerdzzz 372. Now Reed a bit piece dependent here, having to fill in the left side. He gets it open again. Some pieces, it just creates another well that he needs to fill with the next long bar, but finally gets it balanced, and now he's ready to score. Boom, Tetris for Reed.
And boom, Tetris for Terry.
Yeah, Terry's been banging down Tetrises in the meantime, has opened up a 90,000 point lead.
And up top, super neck and neck. Koryan getting a Tetriso, but up by just less than a Tetris over Nerdzzz. And we are approaching the transition. Just about 110, 115 lines. Players start to think about what they want their transition stacks to look like.
Yeah, we're just 2 away, pretty much, on the bottom. Getting close on the top 2. Boards are looking good, though.
Tetris for Koryan, 1 line away from transition. See if he can set up for another one, but may have to take a burn because he's got kind of a jagged board. See if he can get some of these pieces. Yeah, and he's going to take the burn with the square. Probably the safe thing to do. And Nerdzzz is going to Tetris into transition. So 541 Nerdzzz, 559 Koryan. Oh no, Terry!
Ooh, Terry just barely getting it over there. And, yeah.
Okay,
Get it over
so Terry's going to top out 471. We're in a chase down situation. Reed needs to get to 472. 472 is what Reed needs to get. Up top here, 614 Koryan, 576. Koryan's got a Tetris. Now 602 for Nerdzzz now. Both on level 21. Reed needs to get to 472. And you would think it would be easier. Oh, I know exactly what I need to get, but it kind of takes players out of their zone, right? Where they're just playing, and now all of a sudden they have this other thing they have to think about. You know, constantly look back at the scoreboard. So it's a blessing and a curse. And Reed having trouble right now.
Yeah, Reed just kind of getting mediocre pieces to do the job and not able to drill back down, and Terry's going to take one.
All right, hard for Terry. Up top here, Koryan with a couple of Tetrises in quick succession. He's up by 2 Tetrises over Nerddzz, both on level 23. 739 for Koryan, 672 for Nerddzz. Another Tetris for Koryan. Nerddzz is set up for one.
Nerddzz just way up there. Trying to drill back down. Boom, Tetris for Nerddzz. Really getting that long bar at just the right time. Able to get back into safety.
Got a huge pace for Koryan right now. 832 for 190 lines. This is 1.1 million territory for Koryan.
Yeah, Koryan heating up now. Seeming to score increasingly better as the tournament progresses.
And we still have max out pace from Nerddzz here.
Yeah. Yeah, no, this is competitive.
You've got about 250 to 270,000 points available to you once you hit 200 lines. So you got to play perfectly, you know, if you get that score and you want to max out. Now, Koryan kind of running into some burning situation here.
And he's able to get it manageable again. Still up by 1 Tetris. Nerddzz catching up, though. The good board needing a long bar. Smart. Double wide. Gives him options.
And Nerddzz is within 1 Tetris now of Koryan. And a mischief from Nerddzz.
But he bangs down the Tetris back into safety. Neck and neck. And we're approaching kill screen here on level 28.
Koryan set up for one. He's going to Tetris into the lead. Nerddzz is set up only for a triple down the right.
And he gets it over. Triple.
He's going to need to set up here. Koryan is ahead by a little less than a Tetris.
Nerddzz gets Tetris.
So Koryan is... Oh no, Koryan's going to top out 1,440 points in the lead. Nerd needs a long bar right now. Gets it, and Nerddzz is going to Tetris. Wow.
Wow. And that was potentially a double max out situation, and Nerddzz just barely getting that long bar in time, getting it over, and then nailing that Tetris.
I think Koryan may have taken a few extra burns here, or may have, you know, not kind of set up when he had the opportunity here. But no, yeah, Nerddzz is going to take it in a nail biter. Game 1.
Right. That could have gone either way. Koryan could have gotten set up, but I think he might have given up just a bit early on that. I think if he had taken a triple, I mean, he had to have kill screen either way.
We're seeing that a lot in this tournament where it's these decisions on 28, like, am I going to go aggressive and set up like center well and build on top of garbage or not? That's kind of making the difference.
It is, definitely.
All right, we got ready.
It breaks my heart to see, like, you know, if you set it up and don't give up, maybe you'll get it.
Well, we saw that from Nerddzz, though. Keeping that right side open, he went all in on that Tetris, which is exactly what he had to do. The long bar may not have come. It did, and he won.
Yeah. So definitely props to Nerddzz for hanging in on that one and seeing that victory.
Look at these boards down the bottom. Neither player really looking great right now.
Oh,
Reed's going to top out, and Terry's already good. Terry can go ahead and top out. You have dodged a bullet there because Terry was in, like, you know, kind of a high dig situation that might not have ended well. So Reed gifting him one there. This is an elimination game down at the bottom, so Reed is up against it. Terry up 2-0. Chris, I don't know if I can handle this Tetris anymore. I mean, this is, you know, I'm 43 years old. I'm in questionable health. I mean, do I need this?
I think that which doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Well, let's hope that's true, because otherwise I'm in trouble. All right, we'll go ahead and get the game started down the bottom.
Three, 2, 1, Tetris.
So Reed is...
top.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, up top, we're neck and neck.
That is true. Koryan 119. Nerddzz is going to Tetris 140. Koryan's going to take the S-scoop spin there. Set up for a Tetris. And boom, he's going to get it. Tetris for Koryan.
Reed with some early holes in his stack. pretty well organized, so I think he's going to be able to dig out of that without too much loss. Terry's board looking great right now. Both players up top are hyper tappers, and the players on the bottom are das. Terry choosing to do some burns, keep it safe, and bangs down a Tetris. Reed now having to clean up just a bit. Nerd's way up there having to do some line clears. Ooh, and there's a misshift that, wow, he was able to get that long bar over to fix that. But he's still going to need perfect pieces to dig back down.
Oh, no.
Ooh. Yeah, that's going to be tough to get anything over. He really needed like an L or a J for that, and it didn't give it to him. So Koryan is going to take this one.
Yeah, gifting one to Koryan, really.
Today is the day of the early top outs, because we weren't having that happen the other days.
All right, what was once a best of 5 is now a best of 3 up top between Koryan and Nerdzzz. Down on the bottom, we've got 170 for Terry, 117 for Reed. Reed's going to Tetris, though, 141.
Terry stacking up that left really high. But he has options to burn off on the right when you do that. Keeping it all filled in. It's part of the strategy.
Terry, of course, a veteran of several CTWC tournaments and kind of, I guess at this point, kind of the old guard, you know, I mean...
Absolutely.
Yeah, and which is weird, you know, this tournament's only really 11 years old, and, you know, they're sort of like, you know, old players and new players, and it seems like 10 years ago, like I can remember 10 years ago, like it was almost nothing, but...
You know, you get 2 or 3 years under your belt, you're already a veteran pretty much.
Yeah. Now, Terry first max out back in 2014. Reed first max out just 2 months ago.
Wow. But he was able to take out Alex Kerr last year. That's pretty big achievement.
Yeah, for sure.
But definitely proof positive that, you know, no matter when you started playing the game, you can always improve. Just, you know, keep on playing, keep on studying and improving and believing. I think there's going to be new stories for what you'd call old players, and I'm looking forward to that.
Mm-hmm. All right, we're aware of the situation with Nerdzz's camera here. We got Chris Foryst, of course, making an appearance. There you go, Chris Cam. I swear if David Letterman were still on the air, then Chris would be like a recurring character at this point.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we're gonna get a we're gonna allow this game from Nerdzzz. We were confident in his setup. So Nerdzzz, if you're listening, please continue. Do not be distracted. Koryan, continue.
Do not let the whoop cam.
the whoop cam.
Whoop cam.
107 Koryan, 184 Nerdzzz.
Wow. Reed having to deal with some burning. That's going to allow Terry to widen this lead up to over 100,000 points, now at 438,000 versus Reed's 320,000, which is going to...
All right, Chris. Chris with his little whoop there. Calm down. All right. All right, Koryan with a Tetris here, 139. Yeah, back by 114,000, and this is some efficiency from Nerdzzz right here through 50 lines.
Yeah, you usually don't ever see a deficit that big in a Koryan game, but Nerdzzz is just on fire right now.
Hopefully not literally. We have no idea, no way to verify that.
Are really hitting a stride, playing up high, and then just banging out the Tetrises and being efficient.
You bet. Terry's going to Tetris 533. He's 4 lines from transition. Reed on the cusp of transition, but kind of in a crazy stack here.
and down by 200,000 points.
Yeah, this is going to be really tough, and not a good place for Reed to put any of these pieces. And he's in real trouble.
Yeah, that's really high.
That's going to do it for Reed. He's going to top out here. And Terry is already ahead.
By a huge lead, right? 215,000 points, and that's going to close that out. But a great performance by Reed, and again, good seeing, growing roster of veteran players returning and improving.
Yeah, congratulations to you, Reed, for even for making it into this tournament. I think it was a real challenge and a real accomplishment even to get in with so many talented players. And Terry will be continuing on in the losers bracket. And again, thanks so much, Reed, and congratulations. We'll switch over to our riveting scene here with Koryan versus the gray rectangle.
Nerdzzz just playing up way high and just continually getting those Tetrises though and scoring. So that aggression just paying off right now. Koryan down by 100k at 329,000 points versus Nerdzzz 426,000. But 100 line mark, Nerdzzz, another Tetris, just that rate going up 78%.
Oh, yeah. 474 through 100 lines.
Yeah.
Now, a lot can happen. 19 tends to be very decisive. It's an inflection point in this game. And really, even for hyper tappers, one false move on 19 can really spell disaster. So there's not a lot of room. And Koryan, with kind of a tough placement there, should be able to burn out of this, but it's going to cost him even more pace.
Yeah, I couldn't tell what he was going for there.
I think he was trying to tuck something in there and it just didn't tuck. So Nerdzzz 547, 9 lines from transition.
And Koryan not taking the dirty and opting to skim off the top a triple instead. And waiting for the J to throw down there. Finally, Tetris ready again. And opting to take a double into the Tetris, and he needs to get his house in order because transition is here with the next line clear. Nerdzzz hitting level 19 safely. On a tear now, and Koryan hitting level 19 as well. And I think he was saving his momentum for here because now is where he needs to get aggressive if he wants to catch up. He's now down by 153,000 points. Now 178,000 points at 474,000 to Nerdzzz just turning on the heat. 679k, up by 200,000 points. Yeah, things are just going really well for Nerdzzz this game. Just consistent Tetrising. Wow, look at that fast spin. Really getting that into position.
Man, Nerdzzz is just opening up this lead. Koryan doing everything he can to just try to get something out of this, but Nerdzzz continues to build on that lead.
Yeah, this isn't a bad game by Koryan, but it's just Nerdzzz has just hit a stride where he's stacking so efficiently and with so little burning that this score pace is going to be hard to keep up with, even for Koryan.
So Nerdzzz 770, Koryan 627. Koryan's cut into this lead a little bit, but has to build up, and Nerdzzz is already built up.
Yeah, Nerdzzz finally compromising with some triples and doubles there. So that's Koryan's chance to catch up in pace, and then we're seeing it in the score. It's not 200k like it was. Now it's at 130. Boom, Tetris for Koryan.
And yeah, Nerdzzz burning a little bit. This has allowed Koryan back into it. And so now you can see sort of a path forward for Koryan. Nerdzzz still not set up, and Koryan just about to be. Nerdzzz finally set up. Boom, Tetris for Nerdzzz.
And boom, Tetris for Koryan. Nerdzzz still maintaining a bit of a lead now. Well, a little bit more than a bit at 134 ahead. But on maxed out pace. Now Nerdzzz is stacked up a bit high and has to do some burns for those holes. And that's not a great spot to be in.
So Nerdzzz is going to top out. Nerdzzz will top out at 865. So Koryan needs to get to 866. He's got room to do it. That's about 3 Tetrises at these levels. So Koryan needs 866. We say that out loud so the player knows.
Yeah, Koryan in the chase down. It's nothing he can't handle, but he can't sleep on it. There's one.
Oh, there's Chris Foryst. Thank you.
There's 2. Now, Koryan 1 away from chasing the score down.
He's got the Tetris set up.
Here it is. Boom, Tetris for Koryan, and he will take game 3.
I mean, that's this game, Chris, because, you thought Nerdzzz had this thing the entire way, right? Where he's up to almost a 200,000 point lead on Koryan. So then, a little bit of, just kind of trouble from Nerdzzz, and then it just spirals out of control, and it gives a player like Koryan a chance to get back in, even to overcome a 200,000.
We'll see how he, if he can apply that again. Because the pressure was finally on Koryan. You don't usually see a player like Koryan ever down that many points, 200K range.
All right, so we're going to wait on readies from Koryan and Nerdzzz. And once we have those, we can get this this match underway. Players playing out of the winner's bracket.
There's that Sonic towel that we keep talking about.
Yeah. A well-worn Sonic towel. He brings that with him to Portland. And fans want to touch it. They want to see, hey, where's the Sonic towel? Can I touch the Sonic towel? It's a weird totem here in the Tetris community.
Why not? I mean, I love it when players kind of bring their style with them, and seeing the differences in all of our players and seeing what they wear. Like Jonas with his leather bomber jacket.
Of course, Chris Tang with his whole setup there. Now, do you have a name for that? Because you have this sort of costume that you wear that's made out of like Nintendo accessories and things like that.
That was just I'm not sure which year you might be referring to. There was that one year where Vince told me to like dress up in something, so I made like kind of like a NES armor set.
Yeah.
So I had this big chest piece with a giant Tetris cartridge in it. So that was something a little different. I only wore that in 2011.
Well, but I seem to remember carrying around like a zapper gun and having a belt buckle made of an NES controller. Is that not a thing, or am I imagining that?
That was year 1. Yeah, I wore that in 2010.
I think you got to bring that back out. I mean, this is
it's just a gray members only jacket and some gray accessories, and carry a zapper and a NES pad around with Velcro to my belt. It's all good.
Yeah, I know when I saw that, I want to be this guy. That's what I thought when I saw that. Early goings here, we got Koryan at 139, we got Nerdzzz at 142. So neck and neck here as players get their initial stacks and scoring.
Koryan stacked up way high on the left. And both players being equally aggressive this time. No major lead as of yet. I think Joseph is known for his Hollister shirts.
That's true.
Wonder if he ever got a sponsorship from them yet.
Somebody's got to work on that. He's got to get the right representation here, because you gotta exploit the situation while you can.
Yeah.
261 for Koryan, 259 for Nerdzzz. Super neck and neck here.
Neck and neck, yeah. I mean, we could, with the surge in popularity for what we're doing here, we could have an era where esports teams start to get involved and they start wearing team shirts and things like that.
I think the sky's the limit for what's possible here. And I don't know. I was kind of saying this even 2 years, not to toot my own horn, honk honk, but I was saying that, hey, sponsorship kind of thing is available, and players. I mean, you saw this happen in poker in the 2000s, where companies would buy spots on people's shirts and jackets, and I don't know. I think that is totally within the realm of possibility. I think the sky's the limit for this esport.
Yeah, definitely getting to look to the future here, because there's just so much going on in what we're doing. We had no idea that it would get this big, and we love it.
I'm amazed that they even allow me to be involved, really, to be honest. Like, I am a sketchy character, but somehow they let me even be involved in it, so I'm super grateful. We got 361 from Koryan, 345 from Nerdzzz. Koryan up 2-1 here in this winner's bracket match. The winner will continue on in the winner's bracket. The loser will go down to the loser's bracket. You have to be eliminated. You have to lose 2 matches to be eliminated from the tournament.
Winner plays dog.
Winner plays dog. That's no easy feat.
And I think loser plays Terry, right?
That is correct. I'm totally bluffing. Let me just look. So the loser will actually play Marq, and Terry's going to play Pepe. So
okay.
Pepe's been waiting very patiently. After this match, we're going to go to our 2 losers bracket matches. And then we'll bring you the basically the winner's bracket finals. It'll be the winner of this versus dog. You can see what an advantage it is to stay in the winner's bracket. It's just an easier path. Well, easier in some ways, right?
Right. If you end up in the loser's bracket early, then you have to fight a lot more matches to stay in it. And we saw that last week. Some amazing outcomes there. I won't spoil it, but it's amazing to see a player play that many matches over the course of a day and still take it.
All right, 528 Koryan, 437 for Nerdzzz. We are approaching the level 19 transition. Speed increase any moment. 130 lines.
Koryan up by 100,000 points. 552,000 to Nerdzzz 442. Nerdzzz with a center well nearing transition. See what he does with this.
Yeah, he's going to burn this down. I think it's the right thing to do, especially down 2-1. You know, really just get a workable stack on 19 and take your chances rather than going all in that moment.
Nerdzzz doesn't look too happy with having to do that, though. I think he wanted the satisfaction and it just slipped away.
I think that's what a lot of sort of the psychological aspect of this game is, right? Is not getting too tied to your initial plan. I think that's what, happens for a lot of players. Oh, well, I've got this center well. Let me just hang on one more piece, right? And then that one more piece is the one that kind of wrecks your whole game. So it's just knowing when to duck in, duck out, just having the wherewithal to change plans.
Yeah, I think the best players don't dwell. They're already on to the next piece and doing the best they can with whatever it is.
So Nerdzzz having to get some fights and pieces over to the left in order to burn the right side out, and he's still fighting here. And you can see just back and forth, left and right piece placements for Nerdzzz.
Whew.
Koryan 696, Nerdzzz 518. And, that left side for Nerdzzz, that's going to do it. He's going to top out, and he knows it. To try just, to get something over the left, but knows it's not going to work. And Koryan in the lead is good.
And we're going to get that match a lot of people in chat really wanted with Koryan versus Dog.
That's true. That is true. Koryan will be advancing and will be playing against Dog.
Just at the complete opposite ends of the age scale. It's crazy.
Bye.